I chose to do the $1,000,000 vacation, and the country I chose are the Solomon Islands. And the 5 things that affect its climate are latitude, proximity to water, global winds, ocean currents, and elevation. They are pretty low in latitude, and so that can affect their climate because they are lower, and the lower you go, the colder it gets, just like in the song from the Binge Watch playlist. It said, the equator is hot and the poles are not. Their proximity to water is pretty high because they're islands, and so they're pretty close to the water, and this can affect their climate because the closer you are to water, the less of a variation of high and low temperatures you will see. For example, if you're closer to water, you will see like a 20 low and a 45 high. That's not very large. And here in Colorado, you can see a variation from 70 to 40 or 80 to 20. So, as you can see, the closer you are to water, the less of a variation you will see in the high and low temperatures. Okay, so what we learned today in science is that an ocean current is where the hot water pushes down and pulls the cold water up to feed the algae and the plants and animals that live on top. The fertilizer does, not the water. So, what I know about the Solomon Islands ocean currents are that they are pretty, they're connected to all the other ocean currents, but the ocean currents that are near them it's kind of like a figure eight, if you've ever been ice skating. So it's hot water pushing cold water, and then as you make the other 8 bump, it's cold water, and then it's hot water, and so there's like a line of hot and a straight line of cold, and so those are the ocean currents compared to the ocean currents over by Hawaii. Hawaii ocean currents, they're just like a circle because that is where the giant trash island is. It's bigger than Texas. And so it's in a circle so that it can not spread so it doesn't spread the plastic all over the ocean, which would be good. Fun fact, they are finding plastic in human now. When you eat the fish, you are also ingesting plastic. But that's not on topic. Just want to let you guys know. So those are the ocean currents. So the elevation of the Solomon Islands are 0 degrees above sea level, but the elevation still can affect the climate. So the elevation of some of its mountains are pretty high. Like, for example, the elevation of one of the Solomon Mountains are 7,185 miles above sea level. So, if you climb that mountain, do you think it would be colder or hotter? Take a minute to think about that. Alright, so it would probably be colder. It would be colder because the higher you go, more cold, more snow. Because the higher you go, more cold, more snow. Yes. That is also from the playlist Binge Watch. it says the higher you go, more cold, more snow. So if it is that high, it can affect the climate. It can be colder, and yeah. So that is my $1 million vacation presentation. That rhymes. And at the end of this presentation, please enjoy the rap. Boom, bada boom, ba ba. Hey! These are 5 things why you would want to visit Mount Malahaki. Solomon Islands. So, as I said before, there is a mountain there called Mount Malahaki. It is 7,579 miles above sea level. Can you believe it? Whoa, whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that is a pretty high mountain. And here coming at you now is another reason why you want to visit the Solomon Islands. They are very close to water, which means you can go swimming or fishing if that's more your thing, or you can just relax on the beach. And here are 2 more reasons why you want to visit the Solomon Islands. 1, but not the last reason why you want to visit the Solomon Islands is they have lots of mountains there, like one that is very, very high. It was once a volcano. It erupted in 1955. You can look that up if you want. And the last but not least reason you would want to visit the Solomon Islands, the weather there is kind of a paradise. Not saying it's tropical, but the weather there you'll find is nice. So yeah, as I said, the Solomon Islands are kind of a paradise. I'm not saying tropical, but you'll find the weather there is nice. And one last word before you hear the rap. The best time to visit the Solomon Islands is in summer because the ocean currents are pushing the cold air up in the ocean, and that means when the hot air is on the top, it will rise and make the air warmer, so it's warmer. And here's another reason: they are not that high in elevation, boy. And as you know, the higher you go, more cold, more snow. So, yeah, they're not that high in elevation, and their latitude is not that high either, and so they are lower down to the equator, which means they're gonna be colder, so the air there will be warmer because of the ocean currents. And yeah, now please enjoy this rap.
Hey yo, 5th grade, it's time to rhyme it. These are the factors that affect the climate. Look it up on a map and don't give me attitude. Degrees to the north and south we call latitude. In the middle, sun really beats down. That's why it stays warm all year round. As you move away, higher latitudes are colder. Climate zones tropical, temperate, polar. So you know that the equator's hot, but just ask the penguins, the poles are not. Equator's hot, but the poles are not. I said equator's hot, but the poles are not. Elevation also affects the climate, which you'll notice if you go to a big mountain and climb it. Sea level 0, and as it gets greater, it means you're going up like an elevator. Another word for elevation's altitude, like a guy named Al who's a really cool dude. And by cool I mean cold, cause the higher you go, the more the temperature drops, and so you're gonna get snow. The higher you go, more cold, more snow. Said the higher you go, more cold, more snow. The oceans are moving, we can trace the currents as they cool things down or they bring heat like a furnace. Canada is cold, but across the sea it's balmy. Thanks to the Gulf Stream, Ireland has palm trees. The water's warm, so it warms up the air above it. Warm air holds more moisture, so the plants are gonna love it. This ocean current, it makes Europe kind of a paradise. I'm not saying it's tropical, but the climate you'll find there is nice. Warm Gulf Stream makes Europe a dream. Warm Gulf Stream makes Europe a dream. 3/5 done, it's fun to rhyme it. Here's 2 more factors that affect the climate. High in the sky where the cold wind blows, across North America the jet stream flows. Most weather moves from west to east because it's blown right along by this hefty breeze. But it's not a straight line and it moves around, and sometimes it carries really cold air down. Big storm, you can bet the jet stream's behind it, going over your head to influence the climate. Jet stream sweeps from west to east. I said the jet stream sweeps from west to east.
It's fun.
When the sun beats down, all the rocks get hot. But to heat up an ocean takes an awful lot. Temperature is moderated by your body, your water, you got it? It flattens out the pattern if you plot it. Climate on the coast stays relatively mild, but move inland, fluctuations get wild. Big lakes put on the brakes, slow down changes, but landlocked areas see very wide ranges. Farther from the water, colder and hotter. Farther from the water, colder and hotter. Play it on repeat until you can rhyme it. Now you know some factors that affect the climate.